So, this is me on the top of Everest.
My first ascent of Mount Everest was on the 21st of May in 2007 with the Dream Everest expedition. At that point in time, it was just that, a dream come true. Or perhaps fulfilling a commitment to my Sherpa inheritance. The elation, the thrill, the pain and the glory of reaching the summit of the world's highest mountain can only be experienced. It cannot be described. Little did I know that standing on top of the world was going to be my first step on a path of a new awakening. There's only one way to go from the top of Everest. Down. At base camp, my fellow Sherpas gave me a warm welcome. Although I was anxious to return home, Kathmandu and home had to wait. I had a promise to keep. A relative of mine had died while descending from the summit of Lhotse that same season in 2007. I gave my word to her husband to bring her body down. The other high-altitude Sherpas were still on the mountain clearing camps and bringing down huge loads, and I could not seek their support. A few Sherpas and guides had brought the body down to Camp 1 and were waiting for support. I had to cross, once again, the notorious Khumbu icefall. On my way up, I met my Sherpa team rushing down with their loads, chanting prayers for safety and protection. The icefall had begun to melt, and the slush on the trail was making it very difficult for our crampons to bite into the ice. Very unusual for late May. The Sherpas were literally running for their lives. As they passed me, they urged me to turn back. I listened to their advice. That same day, from that exact point, the entire ice field collapsed. Later, returning to Kathmandu, I found out that the mountain environment was changing more rapidly because of global warming. I knew I had to do something to raise people's awareness about the impact of global warming on our mountains. Global warming was causing the ice and the snow to melt faster. Many of the big glaciers create a large number of glacial lakes. The water level in these lakes has been increasing rapidly. Brittle moraine held together by ice is all that keeps the lake water in check. As the heat increases, the ice melts and the lake bursts out. This glacial lake outburst flood, or GLOF, rushes down, gathering speed and force, destroying everything in its path. GLOFs cause destruction of property, loss of life and livestock. Valuable forests are wiped out. Farmland and vital mountain infrastructure disappear in a matter of hours. I needed a platform to talk about the effects of climate change on our mountains and our diminishing mountain environment. We Sherpas needed to act now to protect our legacy. So I decided to climb Mount Everest one more time. I organized the Eco-Everest Expedition 2008. An expedition to show the world the effects of global warming and also to seek possible solutions to help reduce global warming. To start initiatives to take care of our mountains and the natural environment.
My name is Dawa Sherpa. I'm on the top of Mount Everest. As you can see all around us, there's ice and snow and glaciers. But it's predicted that by 40 years, all this will have melted away. Not only will this be a loss for us mountaineers, this is a treasure for us, but it is also a vital necessity for billions of people who depend upon these glaciers for water.
I received support from scientists, alpinists, climbing gear outfitters who care, and from my own people, the Sherpas. After a successful second ascent of Mount Everest, I launched Ideas, Initiatives for Development and Eco-Action Support, a non-profit organization. Our first initiative will be the Beat the GLOF Action Run, IMJA. in the Khumbu in December 2008 to bring attention to the threat to lives and property. Runners from around the world will be invited to participate. In the coming years, the format of this event will be used for similar Beat the GLOF action runs at various places in the Nepal Himalaya where GLOF is a real threat. The Beat the GLOF action run IMJA will focus on creating greater international as well as local concern on the real, high risks posed by GLOFs in the Khumbu region. The action run will start from the IMJA Lake, southwest of Mount Everest. The route will follow as closely as possible the path of the IMJA Kola. The effects of the Mingbo GLOF of 1977 northeast of Tengboche will be seen as the runners continue to the confluence of the IMJA Kola and the Dutkoshi River. The route passes villages at higher ground, villages that could be pulled down by landslides caused by floods lower down. On the last leg of the action run, the runners will go to Tamo and return to Khumjung where the action run ends. In 1985, an ice mass of nearly 200,000 cubic meters from the Langmoche Glacier dislodged and plunged into the lake, triggering the Diksho GLOF in the area west of Namche Bazaar. The most devastating impact of this GLOF was the complete destruction of the newly built hydropower station at Tame village that had cost an estimated $1.5 million. Local witnesses reported that the flood surged down the valley as a huge black mass of water and debris. The bridges at Jorsale, Pagding and Jubing villages were destroyed within a few hours. Individual families directly hit by this GLOF lost their property and holdings, houses, farmland and cattle. About 30 houses in the villages were reported to be lost. Villagers lost their subsistence base when their farmland and forests were destroyed. Moreover, the tourist economy was affected. Lodges and campsites were cut off with the destruction of the trails and bridges. The devastation caused by the Diksho GLOF of 1985 is still prominently visible in the area. The land continues to erode to this day. The Beat the GLOF action run IMJA creates an opportunity where local residents are the focal point and they will spearhead the campaign. During the December 2008 inaugural action run, Ideas envisions the majority of participants being local residents of the Khumbu. These runners will set the benchmark to be beaten in the following years. Ideas convinced the Sherwi Yondin Chokpa to initiate, organize and get maximum local participation for the IMJA action run. The Sherwi Yondin Chokpa is a student group formed to create a network between all the Sherpa students to encourage them to preserve their culture and language and to focus on environmental issues. A number of GLOF events have been recorded in the Khumbu since 1977. These GLOF events have caused extensive loss of human life, damaged roads, bridges, trekking trails, and villages and other infrastructure, an integral part of Sherpa people's livelihood. There are indications that these events will recur more frequently and with greater devastation.
What you can see behind me is Tamsarku. The sound you hear, Dutkoshi River, and maybe if you can catch it on the mic, that's the breeze blowing through the forest. And out in the distance I can hear some yaks just walking by. And every once in a while a porter walks by, just lightly stepping on the dust, save. This is what life is all about, you know. This is what we're here to do. What we're here to see, what we're here to save.
Ideas appeals for your support and participation in this first step. An appeal to help save lives. Lives of the Sherpa people living beneath the shadow of the world's highest peak, Mount Everest.
Mm-hmm.